From BBC Learning English, this is Learning English from the News, our podcast about the news headlines.
In this programme, Trump makes unproven link between autism and pain relief drug Tylenol. Scientists react.
Hello, I'm Neil.
And I'm Georgie.
In this programme, we look at one big news story and the vocabulary in the headlines that will help you understand it.
You can find all the vocabulary and headlines from this episode, as well as a worksheet on our website, bbclearningenglish.com.
Let's hear more about this story.
US President Donald Trump has said there is a link between autism and the pain-relieving drug Tylenol, or paracetamol as it's known in other places.
Trump said that doctors in the US will soon be advised not to prescribe the pain reliever to pregnant women.
Medical experts disagree with these claims, with some calling the president's comments dangerous.
The Health Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., said the US Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, would begin the process of changing how the medication is labelled and launch a public health campaign.
The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, who are experts in women's health, said the announcement was unsettling and not based on reliable data.
Let's have our first headline.
This one is from CBS News in the USA. Trump and RFK Jr. make autism announcement as Tylenol maker and medical experts push back.
That headline again from CBS News in the United States. Trump and RFK Jr. make autism announcement as Tylenol maker and medical experts push back.
So this headline is about the announcement by Donald Trump and the US Health Secretary linking autism and Tylenol. It says medical experts push back. Neil, what does this phrasal verb push back mean?
Well, here in this headline, pushback means to disagree with or resist something that's been proposed. The medical experts push back against Trump's claims about autism. They disagree with him.
Yes, you can push back against ideas or even proposals for something. Another example, residents in a village pushed back on plans to build a new motorway through the middle.
Pushback can be used on its own, like in the headline, medical experts push back, or it can be followed by the prepositions on or against to push back against something.
We also have the noun pushback. For example, despite pushback from the residents, the plans to build the new motorway will go ahead.
We've had pushback, disagree with or resist something.
For example, scientists are pushing back on claims that climate change isn't real. This is Learning English from the News, our podcast about the news headlines. We're talking about Trump's claims that the pain relief drug Tylenol, or paracetamol, can cause autism.
There is recent research which suggests an association between paracetamol use in pregnancy and autism in children, but there is no causal link, meaning there's no proof that one causes the other. Other researchers found no connection at all.
Health officials in the UK have made clear that paracetamol remains the safest painkiller available to pregnant women.
The UK's Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, says expectant mothers should not pay any attention to the US president's claims.
Here's our next headline, and this one is from ITV News in the UK. British scientists inject large dose of scepticism into Trump's paracetamol and autism claims.
And that headline again from ITV News in the UK. British scientists inject large dose of scepticism into Trump's paracetamol and autism claims.
So this is another headline about the scientific community pushing back against Trump's claims. Now, British scientists inject large dose of scepticism into Trump's claims. Let's break apart this phrase.
Yes, let's look at this word, dose. Dose usually means the amount of medicine you take at one time. So a doctor might prescribe you a dose of antibiotics to get rid of an infection.
Yes, but here in the headline, a dose of scepticism, dose is used metaphorically, meaning an amount of something.
So, inject a large dose of skepticism. Skepticism means doubting something unless there is good evidence. And inject is a verb you use to describe putting a needle into the skin to insert liquid into the body. But again, this phrase is metaphorical, isn't it, Georgie?
Yes, so the British scientists inject a large dose of skepticism. That means the scientists are using evidence to add doubt to Trump's claims.
Yes, so even though paracetamol isn't injected, the headline writers are playing with words to make it a clever headline. It's a medical story, so they've used the words inject and dose. Now, where else can we use a dose metaphorically?
Well, Neil, if you've been inside all day, I might tell you to go for a walk to get a dose of fresh air. We've had dose, an amount of something.
For example, my friend keeps making bad relationship decisions, so I talked to them and gave them a dose of reality. This is Learning English from the News, our podcast about the news headlines. Today, we've been talking about President Trump's unproven claims that autism is linked to the pain relief drug paracetamol, known as Tylenol in the US.
The National Autistic Society, a British group representing autistic people and their families, called Trump's claims about Tylenol and autism irresponsible and said he had devalued autistic people.
Autism diagnoses have increased since the year 2000, but most experts say this is because of changes in how the condition is diagnosed, increased awareness of autism, and more people being tested.
OK, Neil, let's have our next headline.
Donald Trump's autism claim debunked after paracetamol warning to pregnant women. And that's from The Mirror in the UK.
That headline again from The Mirror in the UK. Donald Trump's autism claim debunked after paracetamol warning to pregnant women.
This time, we're looking at the word debunk. What can you tell us about it, Georgie?
Well, debunk means to show that something isn't true, usually with evidence.
Yes, so you can debunk things like myths, theories, and rumours.
Yes, or claims like in this headline, Trump's autism claim debunked. So this means that Trump's claim about autism has been shown not to be true by medical experts, according to the headline.
Another example, I watched a documentary recently which debunked some false ideas about vaccines.
Yes, debunk is a really useful word to talk about theories or rumours that circulate in the media.
We've heard debunk, show that something isn't true.
For example, scientists have used maths to debunk recent UFO videos.
That's it for this episode of Learning English from the News. We'll be back next week with another news story.
And if you want to practice your reading skills, go to our website for a new series of magazine-style articles aimed at your level of English.
And if you want to learn more phrasal verbs like push back, which you heard in the podcast, go to bbclearningenglish.com and find the series Phrasal Verbs with Georgie.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. Find us at BBC Learning English.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.